Welcome back to Northwest Elite Spirit, the channel you come to train your mind, body, and spirit. I'm Coach Brian. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, do that now and hit the notification bell for future videos. This is Embrace Your True Potential, Letting Go of the Old You. Now, I made this video due to having hung out with a lot of ultra runners and martial artists, people that you could consider elite athletes and performers. And one thing I've noticed, and in my opinion, is that I think if some of these people were able to let go of their old identities, they could perform even better. Progress and personal growth often requires more than just a physical or external change. It requires a deep internal change. One of the most significant barriers to reaching your true potential is to cling to old identities. Like, say you're fit now, or you're getting things done now, but you're still clinging to having been the fat kid, the bullied kid, the anxious kid, the nerd, or whatever it is. And you use that old identity as fuel to push you towards your current goals. And maybe at first that's fine, but eventually that becomes a hindrance to reaching your true potential or your maximum potential, because it's like you're still trying to get over being that person. So if you're not fat anymore, or you're not a nerd anymore, or you're not a bullied person anymore, but all of your current emotions in your current endeavor and all your drive during your current endeavor comes from that, it hinders progress rather than having fuel of someone who is currently in very good shape or somebody who is currently crushing their goals. You're still attached to those old means of motivation. So letting go of those old identities is the key to performing at your best and moving forward and living a more fulfilled life. You're no longer trying to prove that you're not the fat kid anymore. You're no longer trying to prove that you're not to be bullied anymore. You're no longer trying to prove that you're not a nerd anymore, or that you have to get over anxiety anymore. So when we're going through these things, we form an identity around them. And for a while, we may be stuck in that identity, and we may be that thing. We may be that anxious person, that nerd, that overweight person, that person who is bullied. And we develop like a shell around that. And even though, like I said, we start progressing, we use that field to progress towards our goals, when we still identify with that, there's still a fear and still an anxiety. Maybe you're afraid that you will go back to that, or you have anxiety or worry that you will go back to that. And say I, as an ultra runner, if I want to run further and use less energy to achieve my goals, I have to let go of some of the burden. So say I have weight in my backpack, I have to be aware of what I am carrying in order to make it to the next, say, aid station or the next goal. And if I carry too much weight, it can hinder or even sabotage my progress. And holding on to old identities is the same. It's like carrying a weight that isn't needed. It's like carrying around too many things that you won't need. So imagine you're a backpacker or an ultra runner, and you're in a competition, and you have to be aware of how much weight you're carrying. And so you have to only take what is needed. And when you hold on to old identities and old fears and old anxieties, it's like carrying around a bunch of weight that you don't need. And that's what it's like to try and move forward in life with outdated identities. You have a weight on you that if you would just let go, you would see faster progress and more beneficial progress. And many people fall for this myth that if they let go of this old identity, like if they're the fat person, that if they let go of the fear of becoming fat again, that this will get rid of their driving force and then they will become fat again. But nothing is further from the truth. In reality, shedding these old identities will give you a newfound clarity and a newfound focus that will drive you toward your maximum and true potential. So what are some steps we can take for releasing the old you? We can acknowledge and reflect the impact that these labels have had on us in the past and have on us in the future. For instance, when I'm in the middle of an endeavor, say ultra running or practicing martial arts, and those old thoughts of needing to prove that I'm not what I was creep in, I actually get more tired and I get distracted. I need to acknowledge that in order to move forward with more focus and more force. Challenging limiting beliefs. So if I know that I am not that anymore, for instance, if I'm not being bullied anymore and haven't been bullied for years, or I don't have anxiety right now and I haven't had anxiety for a long time, and I start telling myself I'm that anxious person, I need to stop and be real with myself and say, you're not anxious right now, or you're not the overweight person right now, or I'm not being bullied right now, and tap into my present reality rather than the past. And then visualizing the new identity. So rather than imagining, having fear and imagining that I'm going to slip back into my old ways, visualizing the future me, where that isn't a reality at all. Practicing self-compassion. I know we have habits, and when these habits start cropping up, we can slip into a pattern and say, well, there I am again. There's the old me again. And rather than doing that, seeing that it is just a habit that popped up and not punishing myself for it, but just realizing it's just an old pattern or an old habit that isn't the real me anymore, and looking at myself as I am today and visualizing again for the future. And then taking consistent action. If I am not adhering to those old patterns that created that old me, and if I am not in situations that forced me to identify as that person, I can take action right now towards who I am and who I want to be, and again, maximize my true potential. So the benefits of letting go of those old identities, again, is to release that fear, release that anxiety, release those emotions, and to release those habits that built the old me, and not carrying around the baggage from that currently during this endeavor, again, helping me to maximize my true potential. And letting go of that old narrative, embracing a new narrative. You don't have to deny what you've been through, and you can use it as stepping stones to build the new you and have even greater success and even greater accomplishments in your future. So in conclusion, you're letting go of the past anxieties, the past emotions, the past identities, in order to relieve yourself of that weight off of your back so you can climb higher than ever before. You're opening yourself up to the new possibilities of what the current you can accomplish right now and in the future. Stop identifying with the past and embrace the new powerful you and what the new powerful you can do. Unlock your real potential and discover the power that comes with a new, empowered you. Once again, I'm Coach Brian with Northwest Elite Spirit. This has been Embrace Your True Potential, Letting Go of the Old You. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, do that now. If you found this helpful, like. If you have anything to add, comment below. Share with anyone who might be interested. And as always, practice. If you'd like to buy my book, The ABCs of Strength and Endurance, the Essential Handbook for Strength and Endurance Success, written by me with the help of AI, you can find that on Amazon and Kindle. Thank you.